What up, guys? Today I wanted to finally peep the event story, so let's just go into it. I don't think Sora takes part in the event, but I wish he would come in and be like, what are you buying? That would be perfect, bro. Come on. Also, there's going to be a lot of yapping. It's not voice, so it's just going to be me yapping. Now, for our next report. Over the past few days, a series of missing person cases have been reported across the Ark. The central government has issued an official statement saying that the incidents cannot be classified as serial disappearances. Case 1. Missing person Miles Carter. Male, 45, former commander. 183 centimeters, 80 kilograms. Dang, I'm American, I don't know what that means. Last seen leaving his home around 11 p.m. His daughter filed a report with the ACPU 2 days after his disappearance. Notable information: lost his leg during an operation on the surface and has a long history of alcohol abuse. Recently began counseling at the urging of his daughter. Those around him say he had been showing improvement and was 2 months in sobriety. Counseling? Which counseling center? Confirmation required. Meanwhile, the rapture part discovered at the home of the missing person was said to be debris from a unit destroyed during the recent terrorist attack on the Ark. And the central government has declared that it is unrelated to the current missing persons case. However, some have raised suspicions of a cover-up, fueling ongoing controversy. Case 4. Missing persons Iris Monroe. Female, 68, damn, a former nurse. 154 centimeters, 53 kilograms. Last seen around 10 a.m. after leaving to attend a gathering with acquaintances. At around 7 o'clock on the same day, her son filed a report with the ACPU. Authorities visited her residence immediately after the report was filed, but it was empty. Preliminary findings at the scene suggest the entire family had gone missing. Case classified as a family disappearance. Notable information: no signs of forced entry. A rapture part was found in the basement. A gathering with acquaintances, unable to verify details. The rapture part was placed on some kind of altar, but for what purpose? How do you go missing at some place like the Ark? What the hell? A family disappears? That doesn't work like the real world? What the heck? Conspiracy theories suggesting that the groundwork is being laid for a second Ark terrorist attack, fueling widespread anxiety among the general populace. Case number 8. Missing persons L. Syria 9. Female, 42, psychological counselor. 167 centimeters, 55 kilograms. Exact time of disappearance unknown. Reported missing to the ACPU by her last client. Notable information: operated a counseling center. Confirmed to be the same center where Miles Carter underwent counseling. Has a daughter named Diapara. What the heck? No contact with the daughter as of yet. Also missing. Why did the daughter fail to report her mother's disappearance? This sounds like Polly talking. Yep, this is no good. Polly puts down the pen. Polly's eyes shift from the case file to the computer monitor beside her. At the partition leading to the outer rim. A young girl glances around and then slips inside. The face of the girl captured on CCTV was Diapara. Oh, that's the chick from the thingy. It's her daughter, I guess. It was unmistakably Diapara as it identified in the file for case number 8. Or is it Diapara? I'm gonna say D. This is the only lead we've got. Can't afford to lose this trail now. Right, can't afford to lose this trail at all. Polly grabs her sidearm. I hope it's nothing serious. She sets off from the police station. Case number 9. Missing persons, Polly. ACPU investigator. Went missing during the investigation. Confirmed last seen heading to the outer rim. All signs point to her pursuing Diapara alone. Notable information: confirmed to have visited the counseling center operated by L. Syria 9 on the day of her disappearance. The center is currently decommissioned. Entry is not permittable. Recently, a phrase has been reported to be circulating among the staff. Umbrella will pave the way forward for us. So they're going on the same umbrella stuff. That's the Resident Evil thing. Right on time. Take a seat. I heard a D-wave was detected. Yes. It was 2 weeks ago. A D-wave triggered by the entity codename Gatekeeper was picked up. 2 weeks ago, you said. Why wasn't I notified immediately? We had to confirm a few things. The D-wave wasn't detected on the surface this time. It came from inside the Ark. We're presently picking up D-wave signals from a mansion located in the Outer Rim. If we move too hastily, there is a risk of the D-waves being exposed to external parties. This could reignite tensions with the Outer Rim, especially since the dust has only just settled from the last Outer Rim incident. As such, the central government has decided to handle this case with extreme caution. Which brings me to my point. Have you ever heard of the Torch of Salvation? The Torch of Salvation? I've heard it before, when I was working a case helping that girl, Diapara, search for her mother. I guess I was helping her. Aren't they the cult that worships Rashers as gods? It seems you're well informed. Take a look at this. Anderson hands me a document. The document reads, Human life falls into oblivion, throwing the world into turmoil. New life has been created, a cruel distortion of all things sacred. Merciless judges descend from the skies. Do not resist with thy feeble human strength. The end is nigh. God. Guide these foolish mortals to their reckoning. Is this a prayer? Where did... We recovered this near the mansion where the D-wave was detected. It's supposedly a prayer recited at the Torch of Salvation gatherings. And also, that mansion has been identified as a gathering site for the Torch of Salvation. We shouldn't go charging head first, unless we want a complete fiasco on our hands. The most reliable method is to infiltrate the ranks by posing as a believer. That's why we've spent the past 2 weeks gathering all available intel on the Torch of Salvation. Intel that will be used to help you infiltrate Uncover. What? Why do I have to do it? Your test is simple. Memorize the materials we've compiled. Disguise yourself as a believer of the Torch of Salvation. Then enter the mansion and investigate the situation regarding the D-Wave. While you're there, resolve any related incidents you encounter. You want me to go undercover? I've heard a lot about your infiltration skills. Word is, you've used that skill to close the book on several major cases. We're counting on you to put those skills to good use once more. Just so you know, the counters won't be accompanying you on this mission. Moving around the Outer Rim with such prominent individuals poses too great a risk. Instead, we've arranged a separate support group. Return to the commander's room, you'll meet them there. They'll brief you on the remaining mission detail. Deputy Chief, are you saying... That'll be all. I have a very important meeting to attend. Well then, I look forward to hearing good news from you. Now hey, I don't get my girls in the collab? Dude! He said to meet them at the commander's room, but... It's awfully quiet in here. Guess I'll just sit and wait. I sink into the couch and everything Anderson just told me comes flooding back. The D-Wave. The Outer Rim. The mansion. And... the Torch of Salvation. Never thought I'd hear that name again. A memory of something I saw on the surface hits me abruptly. A small altar in the middle of a clearing and a blade of unknown purpose. People lying around as if they're asleep, each of them holding a rapture part in their hands. I realized I've been entrusted with a mission far greater than I anticipated. My mind is racing. Maybe a splash of water would help clear my head. If you say so. The sound of a running faucet can be heard from the bathroom. Did I forget to turn off the water? If Raffi finds out, she'll freak out. Huh? My nose burns. I glance at the mirror and see blood flowing. Just like the people I saw near the altar back then. What does that even mean? I'm bleeding from my nose. Blood fills the sink. Aren't you being a bit dramatic? I thought you'd be used to this by now. What the? Hey, you okay? The blood that filled the sink has completely vanished. I'm tweaking already. I glance back into the mirror again. D and K are standing behind me. Yeah, I'm fine. So, you all are the backup Anderson was talking about. We'll wait outside. Pull yourself together and come out when you're ready. As missing persons reports continue to pour in, the central government has stated it will take firm action against those who spread false information. After washing my face, I step out and see the news is on. D is leaning against the wall with her arms crossed. K is sprawled out on the couch. They're watching the news, both with grim expressions. These days, all you hear on TV are stories about people going missing. I was told to get the mission details directly from both of you. Read that first. We'll talk after. D tosses a stack of documents onto the table, then glances back at the news broadcast. Looks like I won't get a word out of her until I'm finished with the entire pile? How big is it? At the very top of the stack of documents, it reads, Case number 1. Missing persons Miles Carter. Oh, this again. Guess I'll take a look. I imagine it's what Polly was looking at. You're a fast reader. Thank you. Now tell me, what exactly is happening in the Ark? As the question hangs in the air, my eyes remain fixed on the last page of the document. Case number 9. Oh, Polly. Missing person, Polly. The central government's trying to keep it hush-hush. But as you've just seen, there's been a string of disappearances inside the Ark. The missing persons are of all ages, genders, and backgrounds. One of them is even a Nikke. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be any obvious link between them. I mean, the rapture part, but, you know. Kay slides the document towards me. Case number 8. Missing persons, El Syria 9. Notable information? Her has a daughter named Diapara. According to central government records, Diapara's mother, El Syria 9, was involved with a cult named the Torch of Salvation. So I poked around the counseling center she ran. It turns out every single missing person is somehow connected to that place. For example, this guy. Miles Carter, turns out he was going there for counseling. Iris Monroe used to work there as a nurse. Not only that, that's enough. You don't have to spell everything out. If you say so. Anyway, here's the bottom line. Every one of the missing is tied to El Syria 9. Which brings us to the problem. She's part of a cult that worships raptures. So, here's where the D-wave is coming from. The first person to go missing, Miles Carter, vanished 2 weeks ago. Strangely enough, we picked up the D-wave coming from the Outer Rim 2 weeks ago as well. Right at the mansion where the Torch of Salvation holds its gatherings. Something about this reeks, wouldn't you agree? So, the missing persons cases, the D-wave, and the Torch of Salvation. There's a chance they're all connected? That's right. This mission's a lot more complex than the last. We've got to figure out why the D-wave is being detected from the mansion. Get to the bottom of how it ties into the disappearances. Verify the identities of all the missing. And on top of everything else, rescue them if possible. Naturally, if we uncover anything else felonious from the Torch of Salvation while we're at it, we'll have to decide whether or not to eliminate them. Simple enough. So, the Torch of Salvation's our target this time around, huh? That's what we were told. As usual, you and D will handle the infiltration. Just pose as a married couple who have been brainwashed by the cult and attend one of their gatherings. And what'll you be doing? I'll go solo again this time. I've got a bad feeling about something. So, I want to look into it first. Alright. Now that you've been briefed on the mission, start by memorizing what's written here. Dee tosses another stack of documents onto the table, then turns back to the news broadcast. Once again, it seems she won't say another word until I've read through everything. Just from skimming through, it looks like this is a backstory for the couple we're supposed to play. You want me to memorize all of this? Jesus, how big is it? I'm off to handle some stuff. Let's give this our all. In the name of justice. They're husband and wife. Both of them come from the Quotidians class. What the fuck? And have been living a fairly uneventful life in the Ark. Annette works as a nurse. On the other hand, her husband... Speaking of which, what alias should I use this time? William, I believe you should be able to come up with something on your own. Sorry, go on. Her husband, William, is a researcher at a pharmaceutical company. Despite the couple's busy schedule, they never forget to shower each other with attention. Everyone around them speaks highly of how happy their marriage seems. You're home! You must have had a long day! Yeah, you too. You must have had a long day yourself, darling. Not at all. Oh, what's that, honey? These? They're motherfucker, the flowers are absolutely beautiful. Ah, right, the flowers. I thought of you on the way home, so I picked them up. Thank you. She loves nothing more than flowers from her husband. That part of the script never seemed to change, no matter what role I play. I think Dee just likes flowers. Honey? It's nothing. Then, one day, calamity befalls the couple. A medical accident occurs at William's pharmaceutical company. All the blame is pinned entirely on poor William. The couple suddenly becomes buried in debt, and their idyllic life collapses overnight. Despite this, Annette never blames William. Instead, it's alright, what happened wasn't your fault, honey. It's the world that's gone crazy. Don't worry, the judges will be sent from above to guide everyone towards the end. They begin to blame the world for turning its back on them. Soon, the couple becomes devoted to the torch of salvation. With their fate deepened, the couple decides to attend a gathering purportedly being held at a certain mansion. Thus, they quietly head for the Outer Rim. They even bring a bouquet of flowers, hoping to be welcomed as initiates into the faith. The residential area near their mansion is eerily quiet. It's rather unsettling. It looks like there's no one around at all. Only pages filled with paper scripts are scattered about. There's no signs of life anywhere. When Kay and I were digging around, this area was crawling with cultists. So, what now, darling? Let's start by checking out the area. Given the situation, I think we can drop the act. Boo, I was just getting used to changing my voice too. Dee and I split up to look around. While there are signs someone was living here recently, the place itself is completely empty. The only thing worth noting is some sort of graffiti has been scrawled all over the walls. Is that an umbrella? Why would someone draw something like that here? Does it mean anything? Come on, haven't you ever played Resident Evil, man? I stare at the umbrella graffiti for a while. Granted, I haven't either, so I guess I shouldn't be talking. But it offers no answers. I turned my head to see the mansion looming in the distance. From the moment I saw it, the mansion felt like it didn't belong in the Outer Rim. You're telling me. I don't know how they hide that in the Outer Rim. What's a perfectly intact mansion like this doing in the Outer Rim, you ask? Beats me. A strange rumor has been spreading in the Outer Rim. Locals warn others not to go near the mansion. Stay far away from the mansion unless you want misfortune to come your way. Maybe that's why it's still so intact. It's haunted. Ooh, this place is giving me the creeps. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Maybe I should head to where Dee is. Oh, honey. I'm pretty sure I saw her heading that way earlier. Dee, you here? Sorry. I didn't realize you were changing. I am slipping into something that'll be easier to move around in. No point in pretending that we're a couple at this point. I read all those lines, though! So, did you see anything? I noticed some strange graffiti drawn all over the place. But other than that, nothing unusual. Nothing out of the ordinary. That makes all this even more suspicious. I hear a door open behind me. Dee has changed back into her usual outfit. No! Doesn't look like there's anything else to learn here. Let's head to the mansion. With any luck, we might find some sort of lead there. Come on. Target located. Oh, it's Ada. Keep up your end of the bargain. And I'll do the same. The mansion is heavily guarded. There's no way to sneak in. The only way we can get inside without causing a scene is by reciting this prayer to prove we are believers. Memorize all this from top to bottom. And don't even think about complaining. I spent the whole night memorizing everything just as Dee had told me. Unfortunately, I never got to use what I memorized. Yeah, fucking awesome, bro. Contrary to what Dee told me previously, getting into the mansion ended up being extremely easy. Especially since there wasn't even any security. Much like the residential district, the mansion is deserted. Aside from the ominous creaking of the floorboards under my feet, absolutely nothing else could be heard. Looks like this place is empty too. Kay and I scooped out the mansion's surroundings only 2 days ago. What the heck happened between then and now? Did they catch wind of us snooping around? Hey, Dee? But if that was so... Dee! It seems whatever I'm saying now is not getting through to Dee. I leave Dee to her thoughts and start surveying the lobby. In the center of the lobby, I step carefully past a shattered chandelier and spot a half-destroyed statue of a goddess. Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure. The moment I approach the creepy statue, I notice a long trail of red stains stretching down the hallway. Dee, you might want to see this. The trail of blood leads straight into the dining room. What a mess. You can say that again. What the heck? The dining room is in complete disarray, with rotten food scattered everywhere. Yet, the foul stench lingering in the air was not coming from spoiled food. It was coming from somewhere else instead. I'll go check it out on my own. No, let's go together! The blood trail winds past the dining table, stopping at a shelf in the corner. At the end of the trail, there's a corpse. The body has been horribly mangled. The blood hasn't even dried yet. It's clear this just happened. What in the world is going on here? Suddenly, I feel something cold pressed into my back. Lower your weapon. It's best you don't do anything foolish. That is, if you want to keep him alive. Identify yourself. FBI. But I suppose you wouldn't know what that is. Sorry, but who I am is classified. Here's a friendly tip, though. Stop asking questions and get out of here while you still can. Well, that takes us out of pace. Miranda, are you alright? Huh? Yes, of course. I was just doing my usual firearms check. At this hour, the workday's over. The ACPU works for our citizens around the clock. How was that? Did it sound cool? Not really. I don't think that's something you should be saying in this situation. Is that so? Cherish your gun like you would a loved one. What about that? This doesn't quite fit the situation either. Oh, really? Then, darn, this isn't good. I'm officially out of excuses. Hang on. You're not planning on waiting until I'm off duty then heading to the Outer Rim, are you? The boss already told us. Since there's no way HQ is ever going to authorize an investigation, we've been told to stand by for now. But you're still investigating, aren't you, Query? Well... Query quickly shuts the file folder she's carrying. The document she was reading is labeled Case Number 9. I can't sit by and do nothing. I'm sorry, but I have to head out to the Outer Rim to find Polly. But we'd be defying orders. Fine by me. I've gotten used to finding out disciplinary reports. 10 pages. I mean 6 pages. No, 3 pages. I can fill that out in my sleep. I think we'd be in for more than just a disciplinary report. Oh, even better. Then I don't have to write one at all. No, what I'm saying is... Besides, Polly would have done the same for us. Corey turns to the whiteboard placed in the corner of the police station. Her vision is too blurry to make out what's written on it. But the photo of Polly pinned at the center of the board stood out perfectly clear to her. Alright, I'm off. Miranda! Yes? I'm coming with you. I still don't understand why she doesn't get glasses, man. Come on. So, what's our first course of action? Are you asking me? It's just you and me. Who else would I be asking? And no more jumping out of the shadows like last time, okay? It honestly scares me to death when you do. So, what you're telling me is you came out here without a plan. Well, this is where Polly's signal was last detected. Why don't we start by searching around this area? Also, is it just me, or does this place feel kinda creepy? There isn't a soul around. Hey, do you see that? There's a mansion over there. Let's check it out. This is the ACPU, we're coming in. Miranda yanks open the front door and strides confidently through. We really shouldn't be barging in like this, Miranda. As the front door opened, a courtyard came into view. What's that? In Corey's hazy field of vision, 3 furry shapes appear. Polly? Huh? Oh, there's some dogs. That's not Polly! Run! 3 dogs lunge towards them. Their eyes glow a sinister red as if affected by something. Where did they come from? Just as the lowest one opens its jaw, 2 women appear from behind. One of them fires a launcher into the air, causing the dogs to flee into the distance. You okay? Thanks a bunch. But who are you? I should be asking you the same thing. What the hell is this place, and who are you people? Hold the door! We've got to keep them out. Okay. Damn, another mansion? Am I caught in a nightmare? Ow! Don't worry. I just pinched my cheek, and it definitely hurt. That means this is no nightmare. If you're still not convinced, I can pinch your cheek too if you like. That's so thoughtful. I'm tearing up. You're most welcome. Miranda's so dumb. Can we save the banter for later? Ugh. Oh my god, they're really banging the door. The violently shaking door finally stops. Phew. I think they're all gone now. I thought the gunfire scared them off, but they brought friends instead. If we'd arrived any later, things could have been a disaster. Yeah, that was too close for comfort. Anyway, now that things have calmed down, let's get some proper introductions going. I'm Claire Redfield. I'm Query from the ACPU. Thanks for your help. And this here is... I'm Miranda, also with the ACPU. The ACPU? That's right. We're the police, safeguarding citizens' safety. That's what the ACPU does. So, you're both police officers. Then, have you heard of a man called Chris? He's my brother. He works for the Raccoon City Police Department. I haven't been able to reach him, so I've been looking for him. The Raccoon City Police Department? I'm not too sure. Have you heard of that, Corey? No, this is my first time hearing about this department. Same goes for this man, Chris. I see. It's a pity. Ahem. I guess that leaves my introduction. Yeah? And you are? Name's Jill. Jill Valentine. Claire and Jill, got it. Can I ask how exactly you two ended up here? Well, I realize how crazy this probably sounds, but I'm curious about that myself. Oh? I was in a chopper getting evacuated from Raccoon City when everything went blurry. Next thing I knew, I was here. You too? I was trying to escape Raccoon City when everything started going blurry too. Before I knew it, I saw the two of them getting attacked. I just reacted and sprang into action. What the hell happened to us? Shouldn't the ACPU be briefed by the whole D-Wave shenanigans, or no? So to sum things up, neither of you have ever heard of the Arc or the Outer Rim? And you've never heard of Nikes or Raptures either? Nope. And on our end, we've never heard of this Raccoon City you say you escaped from. And it's the first time we've ever heard of STARS, the unit Jill belongs to. This is bizarre. It feels like I'm in a dream. A dream, you say? The offer to pinch your cheek is still open. Thanks, but no thanks. Alright. If you change your mind, just say the word. Sure thing. Actually, there's one more thing. If you've never heard of Raccoon City, I'm guessing Umbrella Corporation doesn't ring a bell either. Umbrella? I figured as much. Those dogs you were attacked by seems to be infected by a virus. That made me think Umbrella might be up to no good here as well. It's impossible to say for certain, but one thing's clear, something's definitely going on. So, Corey and Miranda, what brings you to this mansion? I doubt a pair of cops would be coming to an old mansion like this just for a social call. Is this related to a case? Well... Yep, that's right. We're here to find a colleague of ours who's gone missing. Her name's Polly. A missing colleague? Yeah, she was conducting an investigation and went missing around this area. You both are free to go. But with Polly's disappearance, and those dogs from earlier, I say it's rather dangerous, so we can escort you somewhere safer. You said Raccoon City, right? I'll check with my boss about this place, so don't you worry. What about you two? We still need to find Polly. You couldn't even handle those dogs earlier. That's because... It's fine. We'll stay and help you look for your friend Polly. Besides, by investigating this mansion, we might find out how we ended up here. There's gotta be a connection. Makes sense to me. This place is dangerous, we should stick together. I appreciate your help. I've no idea how we wound up here, but why don't we kick off the investigation from here? First off, where... It looks like we're in the annex. It says so here on this emergency exit map. Well, that's convenient. Miranda points to the bulletin board on the wall. On the bulletin board, there's an emergency exit map as well as... looks like this annex was used as a dorm. A dorm schedule. What kind of screwed up rule is that? What do they mean by ignore any child you hear calling for help? A list of dorm rules and regulations. And... Isn't this... A notice stamped with an umbrella-shaped logo was posted up. Informed consent form for clinical trials. While I appreciate the free advice, the fact you're telling me to stop asking questions and leave tells me you know something about what's going on here. Who knows? What do you think? I feel a gun barrel press against the back of my neck. Whether you know or not, I just hope you're on our side. Hey, she doesn't know I have regenerative powers now, baby. Sure, I'm on your side as long as you turn around and walk out of this mansion without a fuss. So, what's it gonna be? I stare at the corpse. The upper half has been savagely torn apart. No gun or blade could have caused that. Which means something other than this woman was responsible. Something like a savage beast, maybe a wolf of some kind. Or something like that Rapture I just saw climbing through the window. Wait, Rapture? Am I the only one who saw that? Don't even think about distracting me with strange comments. Gunfire? This way! Oof! As if on cue, Dee grabs me by the collar and raises her axe at the woman's throat. You okay? Thanks for that. My neck's a little sore, though. Lower your weapon. Don't do anything foolish. You're pretty good. But are you really bringing an axe to a gun party? Want to see who's faster? Even with the axe blade resting against her throat, the woman remains utterly unperturbed. Instead, she merely flashes a calm and confident smile. It's the same for Dee. Even with the gun pointed at her head, she remains as composed as ever. At this rate... Wait! Hey! My name is Ren. I'm here to investigate a missing persons case. I have a reason to believe the Torch of Salvation might be involved. A missing persons case? What about it? I don't know why you're here, but we could be after the same thing here. Maybe we can... Glass shatters as something bursts through the window. On one Rapture's leg is the upper body of a mass-produced Nikke, fused to something. What the hell is that? I've about had it with these interruptions. Follow me. And don't even think about using that gun. Unless you want more of those things to show up. The mysterious woman disappears into the lobby. Dee! Let's follow her. What in the hell is this? Oh, should I be screaming? Ah! Oh my god! The sound fades away. Why do I do a lot of running? We fled from the creature, making it up to the second floor of the mansion. Perhaps the stairs are too narrow, as it doesn't seem able to follow us up here. What is that? A monstrous fusion of a Rapture and a mass-produced Nikke. Even at a glance, it's clear that the two were forcefully stitched together. The hellish appearance of that thing was nightmare fuel. Suddenly, the woman reaches her hand out to me. What do you think you're doing? The woman ignores the axe pointed at her and gently brushes my back. I'm simply trying to pat him on the back. See? I don't have my weapon in hand. With a calm smile, she raises both arms slightly. Name's Ada. I got out of Raccoon City. But then everything went blurry. Next thing I know, this mansion appears, so I was investigating the area. Raccoon City? You haven't given me your name, by the way. It's Dee. That's it? Just Dee? Yes. Dee puts the axe away. Okay, fair enough. Ada's not even your real name either. I don't know why you're complaining. Dee. Easy to pronounce, I suppose. But honestly, don't you think your story has holes in it? You say everything went blurry, and then this mansion appears before you. What does that even mean? I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened. My vision blurred, and this mansion just appeared. So you're saying... How many times do I need to say it? My vision blurred, and then... Ada? I don't even care how I pronounce it, by the way. So... You either have no clear memory of the circumstances that led you to this mansion, or you essentially blacked out and then found yourself here, almost as if you've been teleported. Is that how you feel? Both explanations pretty much sum up how I feel. How did you know that? I knew it. She's a human from another world, brought here by the D-Wave. I have a few guesses as to what happened to you. I explained to Ada what the D-Wave is in detail. She's gonna call me crazy. So what you're saying is... Something called a D-Wave swept me up and dropped me into another world. And if I want to go back, we need to wake up something called the Gatekeeper. That about covers it, yeah. Are you even allowed to share all this information with me? What if I'm playing at you in order to get intel? You were even quick to reveal your name and intentions. Aren't you being way too kind? Or are you just that naive? What if I'm the enemy? If you'd meant to kill me, you would have done it the moment we've met. What if I'm just gathering intel while your guards are down, then planning to kill you after? Dee has my back. She'll figure something out. Figure something out? You must really trust her if you're willing to bet your life like that. You seem awfully calm about all this, don't you think? You've been teleported to a strange world and just saw a nightmarish monster, yet you didn't even flinch. Heh. You're not wrong. Let's just say we're both a bit odd then. At any rate, this clearly isn't the world that I know. Correct. Then, why is there evidence of the Umbrella Corporation here too? Ada points into the distance. In a space littered with long benches, an altar with a Rapture's core resting atop it stands at the further end. How the hell did they get a core? And strewn across the altar are sheets of paper marked with an umbrella symbol. T-Virus Experiment Report. Top secret. Those are the words written at the top of the paper Ada is holding. Ada's face darkens as she reads through the document. The umbrella symbol on that piece of paper. You seem to recognize it. What's this Umbrella Corporation you mentioned? The T-Virus. And the G-Virus. Viruses? They're the names of viruses that spread throughout my world. The same viruses that drove Raccoon City towards utter destruction. What kind of virus could cause something like that? Put simply, they're viruses that can rewrite the genetic structure of living beings. They reduce intelligence and induce aggression. Those infected turn into mere living corpses. On top of that, their physical abilities are greatly enhanced. And Umbrella is the one who made these viruses. Yes, Umbrella uses the viruses for bioweapon development. Like that creature we saw on the first floor. A creature that seemed like a fusion between a Rapture and a mass-produced Nikke. Wait, don't tell me! The situation is worse than I thought. Ada hands me another piece of paper. A short paragraph is scrawled across the top in red ink. He who imbibes the holy elixir of the judge shall shed the flesh of the sinner and be reborn as a greater being. Pain is but a prelude to transformation, and death the echo of new birth. Fear not. Neo-virus development complete. Lead the foolish humans inside the Ark to their end. Just as I thought, the virus was developed here. And now? What happened in Raccoon City is about to happen here as well. I'm reporting this to the higher-ups. We have to seal off the outer rim completely, or else there's a chance the virus could spread. And if needed, we'll mobilize the Blaze Out squad. Blaze Out? Think of them as Ark's epidemic countermeasure squad. Without another word, Dee moves to the far corner of the room. She appears to be attempting to establish radio contact. My head is spinning from all the new information I've been bombarded with. So, now that your girlfriend's out of the earshot, would you mind having a little chat, just the two of us? About what? I'll give you whatever intel you need. But, if you find the person who developed the Neo-virus, hand over custody of them to me. That's all I'm asking for, in exchange for my cooperation. You want me to just hand over the developer to you? You don't need to worry, I won't harm them. So, what's your answer? That information better be worth something. I'll take that as a yes. Ada reaches into her coat and pulls out an old, worn notebook. What's this? Some quality reading material you should check out. I'm only reading this event, dude. What the heck? It's the Cult Leader's Journal. I open it carefully, revealing the following text inside. Death is not the end. Death is purification. The purification of this world begins with death. The merciless judge descends. Shouldn't I be showing Dee this notebook? Informed consent form of clinical trial. Number 1, goal. To identify those worthy of salvation on the day of judgment. Number 2, procedure. Participants shall receive the holy elixir of the judge through a purification ritual. The ritual will span 7 days and cannot be halted or abandoned midway. During this period, bodily reactions and transformations will be observed to determine the subject's eligibility for salvation. Number 3, possible phenomenon and side effects. High fever, vomiting, dizziness, visual and auditory hallucinations, temporary or permanent bodily mutations. All phenomena are deemed divine trials and cannot be defied by mortal intervention. I hereby acknowledge that I have clearly understood the information stated above, and give my voluntary consent to participate in this trial. I humbly accept all outcomes arising during the process as the will of the divine. Signed by Miranda. Date. What day is it today? Forget the date. The real question is why you are signing it. Oh, because the signature was left blank. Huh? About that, Miranda often forgets to sign her patrol logs. So Polly hammered it in her head to sign her name if the signature field is blank. Yep, Polly taught me that. Hold on, Polly? There's no time for this. We've got to find Polly. Resuming investigation. Miranda rushes into the annex. Despite how she is, I can assure you that she's a capable officer. If that's what you want to call it. Should we head in as well? Hold on a sec. There's something I need to check. Jill, look at this symbol. It's umbrellas, isn't it? First, that infected dog attacks, now this. Not to mention the contents of this consent form. It seems like... yeah, seems to me that umbrella is behind this somehow. If it's something that results in physical mutations, then this holy elixir of judge might be another virus developed by them. So Umbrella even has their filthy tendrils in this place. Sorry to interrupt, but you keep mentioning this Umbrella Corporation. Would you mind explaining exactly what that is? If there's any chance it's connected to Polly's disappearance, I should know about it. Umbrella presents itself as a pharmaceutical company, but in reality, they repeatedly carry out illegal human experiments. They developed a virus that alters the human body and induces madness. What was that? I think it came from deep inside the annex. I'll go check it out. I'll inform you if something comes up. Corey, you and Claire stay here. In the deep recess of the annex is a storeroom. It is cluttered with miscellaneous junk, and in each corner of the room, a statue has been oddly placed. Meanwhile, in the middle of the room, Miranda lies half buried beneath a pile of books. It appears to have been a botched attempt to reach a book on the top shelf. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. What happened? There was something tucked in this book, so I tried pulling it out and ended up falling over. I guess this was what I was trying to get. Miranda hands Jill a worn-out note. The note reads, "The prophet greets the judge. The merciless judge punishes the sinner. The sinner kneels beneath the false goddess, and the false goddess stares down the prophet in silence. The deceitful gaze invites ruin. Only the true gaze shall open the path." It looks like some kind of riddle. Where did you say you found this? Hold on, you see that, Jill? There's a lever beneath that statue. I'll try pulling it. Wait, it could be a trap. Miranda pulls the lever beneath the statue of the goddess of victory toward the left. The statue turns and faces the statue to its left. Whoa! The statue moved. This lever must control the statue somehow. Hold on a minute. A statue of the goddess of victory, a statue of a hooded disciple, a statue of a menacing rapture, a statue of an ordinary man and a woman. Each statue has a lever beneath it. All of these statues can be rotated. Oh, Jill, you're used to this Resident Evil puzzle. Maybe the direction the statues are facing is connected to this riddle you found. Miranda, don't touch anything. We haven't fully figured out the puzzle yet. I didn't move an inch. It moved on its own. I meant the ceiling. The ceiling? Uh-oh, it's closing in. The ceiling begins to cave in. The disciple gaze invites ruin. The statue of the goddess faces the statue of the ordinary man and women. Did we trigger a trap by turning the statue the wrong way? Miranda, quick! Pull the lever the other way! Turn it to face the disciple statue. Got it! Miranda pulls the lever of the statue of the goddess of victory to the right. The goddess statue rotates to face the statue on its right. As the goddess looks upon the disciple's statue, the ceiling halts its descent. We almost ended up becoming sandwiches. Very funny. That lever you pulled last made the ceiling stop. Does that mean this is the true gaze? Then the disciple statue must represent the prophet. If a goddess statue represents the false goddess, that leaves the judge and the sinner. Typically, sin is represented by humans. What should we do now, Jill? The prophet greets the judge. Miranda, could you flip the lever in front of the disciple statue and make it face the statue with the four-legged machine? Then, next, Miranda manipulates the levers according to Jill's instructions. A pro. Thus, the statue of the disciples faces the statue of the rapture. The statue of the rapture faces the statue of the man and woman. The statue of the man and woman faces the goddess statue. And the goddess statue in turn faces the disciple statue. Is it done? Yes, for now. I'm still not entirely sure if this is the true gaze. Oh man, the last thing I want is to get squashed by the ceiling and turn into a sandwich. You and me both. Did you hear that? I'm pretty sure it came from near the bookshelf. Ah, Jill's a professional, baby. The bookshelf begins to slowly slide to the side. Soon, a hidden passage is revealed behind it. At the end of the secret passage, a tense and alert Miranda and Jill come upon a laboratory. Unlike the mansion's decrepit exterior, the lab is equipped with surprisingly modern equipment. However, oh my! The corpses strewn throughout made it clear that the research being conducted here was far from ordinary. All these bodies! Shattered, oversized incubation tubes filled the room, from which various corpses with unnatural developed muscles protrude. All the bodies are completely torn to shreds. Jill averts her eyes from the horrifying sight. In an area lined with multiple computer terminals, documents bearing Umbrella's corporation logos are scattered everywhere. Damn it, even here. Miranda, we've got a survivor over here. Lead us. What did you say? Jill brought her ear closer to the researcher, collapsed on the ground. Human life falls into oblivion, throwing the world into turmoil. New life has been created, a cruel distortion of all things sacred. Merciless judges descend from the skies. Do not resist with thy feeble human strength. The end is nigh. God, guide these foolish mortals to their reckoning. The end. These foolish mortals, distortion of all things sacred, throwing the world into turmoil, end is nigh. Do not resist. Merciless judges descend from the skies. Do not resist. God, guide us. Our reckoning. The researcher collapses, blood gushing from his mouth. A gaping hole has been torn through the center of his torso. It's as if something had forced its way out from within. How the hell was he still alive? To say a prayer. So that's how things unfolded in Raccoon City. All because of a virus. An entire city was wiped. Family, friends, loved ones, all gone, vanished. Anyway, we can't let the same thing happen here. We need to investigate this area, leave no stone unturned. I'm also worried about your colleague who went missing. It seems Miranda and Jill went all the way inside. Why don't we start our search here? Okay, let's do that. Everybody's splitting up, dude. This is a Scooby-Doo episode. After that, Claire and Query began checking the nearby rooms one by one. The pair discovers When they arrive at the third room, is this? Underneath the bed lies a weathered notebook. When Claire picks it up, a single photograph falls out. It seems to be a photo of a mother and daughter. They seem to have had a close relationship. Having trouble seeing it? Want to take a closer look? Claire holds the photo closer to Query. The faded faces of mother and daughter begin to come into focus. It's Elsiria 9 and Diapara from Case 8. Diapara? Reborn Evil, to be continued. Okay, that was a bit shorter than I thought. Okay, wait, what? Never mind. Peerless Siege, Safe House. Why do you put to be continued and then more stuff after? I knew something felt off. Mission Code 7-1, declassified. The Ark and a proposal for humanity's salvation. Within the insular society of the Ark, the activities of Peerless Siege proved remarkably efficient. All traces of evil within the Ark were soon eradicated. However, evil is the darker side of the coin which must exist for justice to persist. Therefore, a proposal to maintain justice and overseas Peerless Siege has been drafted. The following is the tentative proposal. Number 2, formation of pro-Rapture radical group. Public awareness of raptures continues to decline. The attached survey suggests this is due to the fact ordinary citizens rarely encounter raptures personally. Therefore, pro-Rapture radical groups are to receive clandestine support. This is intended to foment hostility towards rapture amongst the general public. So, he has in this too. X. Okay. The government is like lobbying pro-rapture so that the populace can be afraid of him even still. I feel like this was a bit short than usual, all things considered. There was a lot of yapping though, very interesting. I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I think this collab is the first collab of like regular humans, right? I mean, I guess the Evangelion are regular humans too. Yeah, I mean, no, the Evangelion are regular humans. They're just in mechs, so I guess that's a bit different. But these are just regular humans. Because what? So the first collab was Chainsaw Man, which, by the way, was there one in here? Let me quickly check. I don't think there was. I think that's the part 2, and then we'll get like the banner thingy or whatever. I think the Chainsaw Man was the first one, and I mean, those were technically demons, which I'm not sure if Dennis, or I think his name is Aki, the male characters in Chainsaw Man, at least in the like first season, which I'm pretty sure with this the collab dealt with. I'm not sure if they had a lot of part in with the story, which I don't know. I don't know how people will feel about like other male collab characters getting some action in the story. I wouldn't mind Leon showing up on this. Granted, I think some of the shenanigans would be less serious, I guess, if Leon was there. I don't know. Leon's a bit goofy, and Blood's like dual wielding fucking rocket launchers and shit every time I see him, anything like that. But I don't know if they'll ever do that stuff in the future. If they rerun Chainsaw Man, then I can see the story on how that one went. I am a bit curious. I probably won't look it up because I don't really care too much, but I am a bit curious to see what their shtick is on like male collab characters getting a little bit of part in the story. I mean, we kind of had that with Stellar Blade. What was his name? Adam? Adam had a bit of a part, but it was kind of just background, and he was just there to crack jokes, I guess. But other than that, I don't think we had like anybody else. Very interesting, but oh well. I mean, that story wasn't too bad for now. It looks like they're doing the thing where they're doing 2 different stories. Kind of like what they did with the 2B Stellar Blade one, or it's 2B Near one. What the fuck? I don't know why I said Stellar Blade. I mean, technically, 2B does show up in Stellar Blade. More so her outfit, but besides the point. Looks like they're doing like the 2-part thing. So I'm imagining the story's gonna diverge with Polly and Miranda, or not Polly, Miranda and Query being with Jill and Claire, and then we're gonna be with Dee and Ada, and we're just gonna go on like separate paths. Maybe we'll meet up in the end, but I wonder how they'll handle that. I think they handled that pretty well with the Nier collab, those 2 paths with 2B and A2 being like different paths. I think that wasn't too bad, but Oh well, I wish this event was voiced, all things considered. Oh well. Dude, I'm telling you, next collab, we should get like a Tower of God collab, and then we can have Yuri pull up, and then she can have one of the like, well, I think it's Green March, or is it Black March? One of those don't like being wielded by Yuri, because I think the sword is shtick is they have a preference to being wielded by a handsome man. So think about it. Then the sword can be given to the commander so he can actually do something, and it'll actually be cool. Think about it, dude. That'll be genius. And then we can have like one of the other Jihad princesses be the fucking other collab unit, I guess. What's her name? Endorsi? I think people will like her. Then again, I'm not really sure. I mean, Tower of God is popular enough, right? I think Season 2 went pretty well. I haven't watched that yet because I've been fucking catching up with the webtoons. I think the dude is on hiatus because he just finished like the most recent season or whatever, and I'm pretty sure hasn't come back. But anyways, I'm rambling about something else. Anywho, I think that is it. A lot of yapping. Wish it was voiced. Oh well, we'll see how part 2 goes. Let me know what you guys think about part 1 of the Resident Evil story. And I'll catch you guys later.